Tonight on CTV News at 11:30. One person has been found dead after a fire at a homeless encampment in Sudbury.
This is the second instance this year that we've had back-to-back deaths.
Police say they're treating the scene as suspicious. Plus, fire breaks out at a field near Hearst's Pepco, leading OPP to close Highway 11. And retention issues and burnout.
You used to be able to have a pause between calls. Now they're back to back to back.
A new report highlights the workplace issues facing paramedics across Greater Sudbury.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Tony Rima with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. One person is dead following a fatal fire at a homeless encampment in Sudbury's downtown core. Investigators are treating it as suspicious. CTV's Amanda Hicks starts us off tonight.
Police tape surrounds a large section of Sudbury's Energy Court.
Around 3:40 this morning, emergency responders were dispatched to Energy Court in relation to two tent fires. Upon extinguishing the fire, officers and firefighters did locate one deceased individual inside one of the tents.
The victim's identity is unknown at this time. Because the cause of the blaze has not yet been confirmed, the incident is being treated as suspicious. Police are investigating in collaboration with the Ontario Fire Marshal.
In 2026, there have been 6 deaths reported in Energy Court.
This has been the second death within a span of just 2 days, following a sudden death reported on Wednesday. The Go Give Project, which operates the Energy Court Hub in conjunction with the City of Greater Sudbury, says the recent stretch has been incredibly hard on the community.
This is the second instance this year that we've had back-to-back deaths, one after another. So that always takes its toll. And again, just the nature of the incidents, we're looking at drug poisonings and violence. And it's a scary time for everybody in our community and the broader community, but especially those that are, just trying to survive in the encampments.
While there are surveillance cameras in the area, Ali says more designated safe spaces and housing alternatives are needed, along with an increase in security.
With the heat, tensions are rising. We're seeing extreme congestion with the encampments in the Energy Court area, and a reduction in that is going to reduce the number of incidences that are taking place.
The cause of death remains an unanswered question, one that officials say will rely heavily on a post-mortem examination scheduled for tomorrow. In the meantime, police are asking anyone with information to come forward. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
New tonight, this was the scene earlier this evening outside the Pepco facility in Hearst. Pepco deals with fuel delivery, industrial lubricants, and industrial supplies. OPP had shut down Highway 11 at Gaspésie Road so crews could deal with the fire. It reopened a couple hours later. No word yet on the fire itself, what started it, and the current response from first responders. CTV News has reached out to the Hearst Fire Department, and Pepco will update this story as it develops. A Sault Ste. Marie stabbing trial was back in court today, more than 5.5 years since the incident took place. In February, Montana Lewis was found guilty of manslaughter in the stabbing death of Samuel Graham Jr. Today, the court heard victim impact statements from more than 20 family members and friends of the deceased 19-year-old. Graham's parents noted the heartbreak they have endured while also being traumatized by the repeated court visits, which they claim to be over 45 since 2020. The court case will continue tomorrow, where submissions from both the Crown and defense will take place. Lewis will also get a chance to speak. The Anishinaabeg Police Service is issuing a warning after one person died and another was hospitalized from suspected overdoses in Garden River First Nation. Police say the two separate incidents involved the victims smoking what they believe to be cannabis from a bong that was being passed around. In the first incident, a person was taken to hospital with overdose symptoms and later died. The second incident sent a youth to hospital with seizures and other symptoms. They are still in hospital. Police say there is no indication that others partaking in the drugs from either incident showed any overdose symptoms. While police are still investigating, they believe the cannabis was purchased legally at the dispensary in the First Nation, but say is the substance consumed by these two people may have been cut with something they were unaware of. For more on this story, head to our website at ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. In Timmins, the OPP Guns and Gangs Unit in Timmins Police is seizing more than $160,000 in drugs, along with illegal weapons, cash, and trafficking items. The seizure stemmed from an investigation that began in February into drug trafficking network with ties to the Greater Toronto area. In late May, police executed 4 search warrants on homes in Timmins and Kapuskasing and announced today 5 people will be facing charges. 2 Toronto men, 2 people from Timmins, and 1 from Kapuskasing face a combined 38 trafficking and weapons-related charges. A Toronto police officer has been shot and killed while executing a search warrant this morning. Toronto's police chief has identified the fallen officer as Constable Mark Pinizzato. Chief Demkew said officers were conducting search warrants across the city in connection with a number of shootings, including the one at the U.S. consulate back in March. One suspect who has been identified as Zara Jabi is still wanted in connection with the investigation that led to the warrants. Well, this is the second time this week a police officer in this province has been killed in the line of duty. OPP Constable Tarun Bali was killed in the line of duty in Hearst after being struck by a vehicle Tuesday afternoon. Officers were trying to stop the car as part of an ongoing investigation when Constable Bali was struck. In that case, an 18-year-old has been since charged with first-degree murder. A procession will be taking place tomorrow during the noon hour to escort the fallen officer from North York to Thornhill. A new report highlights workforce pressures for paramedics in the city of Greater Sudbury, which are leading to retention issues and burnout. CTV's Angela Gemmell reports.
A paramedic shift can be busy, unpredictable, and stressful.
They're running their butts off and doing multiple calls on a 12-hour shift.
A report headed to the Community and Emergency Services Committee finds roughly half of the city's primary care paramedics have less than 5 years of experience, while 20% have 1 year or less. There's also been a decline in the number of paramedics who have higher skill levels.
ACP, the advanced care paramedics, we're losing a lot of them at the city because other services around are starting to say, hey, we want that level of care. So they say, well, sure, I'll go work in Manitoulin, or I'll go work in Hager or Killarney or different stations like that are slowly bringing that service level up, as well as Orange.
Along with being a city councillor, Renee Lapierre is also the program coordinator for Collège Boreal's paramedic services and a former paramedic. He knows the pressures of the job firsthand.
Our call volume is higher than what we used to have. You used to be able to have a pause between calls. Now they're back to back to back. You don't have time to always reset. As good as the plans that we have and the services that we offer to support mental health, they can't catch up quick enough.
The report shows significant recruitment and retention pressures, particularly for ACPs. Plus, relying on this smaller cohort has led to operational pressures, higher rates of burnout, and a gradual buildup of physical and mental exhaustion. Dealing with the mental health aspect of the job is hard to teach.
Biggest one we found is to try to do high fidelity simulations as best as we can to not just integrate the skill piece, but the emotion piece that they're going through as well. So that way they can experience it a little bit ahead of time in a safe environment.
Among other items, the report calls for targeted investments in advanced care paramedic capacity. City Council will decide how to proceed once the report is presented on Monday. Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Over the last 3 days, municipal leaders, social service agencies, and other stakeholders have been in North Bay for the Northern Ontario Service Deliverers Association conference known as NOSDA. As CTV's Eric Tashner explains, affordable housing is a key area of concern.
Great comments.
At the annual NOSDA conference, the talk of much-needed housing dominates discussions.
And it's become very stark, with respect to the inability to actually provide affordable housing here in Northern Ontario. It's so extreme that the situation is probably the worst in the country.
Delegates representing Northern Ontario's 10 service managers, who are responsible for delivering essential social and human services, together plan to draft a housing shortage proposal to the federal level.
I serve on a nonprofit seniors housing board. There's a 7-year wait list. It's subsidized geared income housing for seniors.
Once we get the green light from them, we're ready to proceed. We have the location, we have the drawings, we have everything to proceed.
Throughout the conference, they spoke about emerging trends and challenges for service delivery in Northern Ontario, with presentations focused on collaboration, innovation, and advocacy.
You know, it's really nice to come to a conference where we can start to share some of the experiences we are having and just seeing what other folks are doing, utilizing some best practices.
Another challenge the social service agencies look to address is childcare. According to statistics, 13,000 families right across Ontario are currently on childcare support wait lists. The challenge is hiring more qualified early childhood educators. In January, the Social Services Board identified a need for 140 childcare staff in the Nipissing district. King has been pushing the province to extend its Learn and Stay grant to include ECE students.
That Learn and Stay process is underway right now. That's certainly a big part of the process that we're carrying on at DSAP.
And when these delegates go back to their communities, they say the advocacy to improve the lives of Northerners will continue. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Tony will have your full weather forecast. For now, a look at the current conditions. And we have an approaching cold front that is moving into the region. So those heat warnings up and around Kapuskasing and Hearst have now dropped. Still on the warm side, 20 in Kapuskasing, 20 in Sault Ste. Marie, 17 in Gore Bay. Seeing some thunderstorm activity along Lake Superior. We'll have details after the break.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Good evening, everyone. Now your main weather, and we are going to start with our forecast radar. A lot of humidity today, off and on shower activity, and more rain is on the way as we hit the clicker, especially in through Kapuskasing. Tomorrow morning around 7 o'clock, you'll see a band of thunderstorms move through, and then it's going to head in a kind of a northeasterly direction. But in through Sault Ste. Marie, Friday evening, you can expect some thunderstorms, more showers, off and on shower activity, especially in through Sault Ste. Marie, Chapleau, and also on Manitoulin Island, Gore Bay in particular, in through Saturday. And then we start to get a little bit of clearing, so it's not going to be all that bad. Let's take a look at your 7-day weather forecast, starting with Sudbury, Nickel Belt tomorrow. Well, risk of thunderstorms still. Temperature's going to drop a little bit, 24. Slightly better on Saturday, 21, and then, you know, we start to see the silver lining and everything. On Sunday, just a few showers. Monday, sunshine. Temperature cooler, should be about 22 degrees, and then on Wednesday, back to the rain. In through Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, risk of thunderstorms below seasonal temperatures by 1 degree, but with the humidity, it'll feel much warmer than that. Still a soggy weekend. Monday looks great, a little cool down, a mix of sun and cloud. Then Wednesday, back to the showers, but Thursday looks good. 17 degrees, slightly cooler than normal for this time of year. In through Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, a risk of thunderstorms. And then after that, you know, we start to see the temperatures drop a little bit. Look at Sunday, only 13 degrees. Overcast to start your work week next week, and then showers Wednesday, Thursday. For Timiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, risk of thunderstorms tomorrow. Temperature drops, not so much rain. We start to see a little bit more sunshine. Monday looks good, below seasonal temperatures. Clouds return Tuesday, add in the showers on Wednesday and Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud, 19 degrees. And finally, your 7-day weather forecast for North Bay, West Nipissing. Again, thunderstorms tomorrow, temperature 23 degrees. Then on Saturday, the rain will persist. Temperature starts to cool off just a little bit. Monday looks gorgeous, 19 degrees. Slightly warmer on Tuesday. Then in through Wednesday, back to the rain. And Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud, and 19 degrees as your daytime high. Ian, that's back over to you.
Thanks for this, Tony. Well, the weather, mainly an approaching cold front and a lot of rain these last few days, has led to more fire bans being dropped across the region. The latest include Temagami, Casey, and Brantford townships, along with Coleman. Timmins dropped its fire ban yesterday. Many municipalities have put them in place due to extreme heat and dry conditions that had been in place. The future of mining in northeastern Ontario was on full display today during the Projects in the Pipeline session at the Canadian Mining Expo in Timmins. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
Required, but
We got through it. Thank you.
Mining executives from Discovery Silver, Agnico Eagle, and IAMGOLD laid out plans that could shape the region for decades to come. Discovery Silver says its recent acquisition of the Kidd operations will be a major growth driver. The company plans to build new gold processing circuits at the Kidd metallurgical site, shift ore processing from Dome to Kidd, expand exploration, and increase production in the Timmins camp. The company says it sees more than $6 billion in spending over the next 5 years, hundreds of new jobs, and the potential to more than double gold production.
There's some great opportunities here in Timmins. People should be investing and thinking positively about the growth in Timmins, and Timmins shouldn't be closing; it should be building.
Agnico Eagle detailed several major projects in its pipeline, including the Detour Underground project, Upper Beaver, and other growth opportunities across northeastern Ontario. IAMGOLD provided an update on its Côté gold mine, which reached commercial production last year and is now studying future expansion options. Ontario's Minister of Northern Economic Development and Growth, George Peary, says events like this help everyone, from investors to suppliers, plan for the future.
People want to hear about what's happening, the growth stories, where they're going to put their money into next.
Peary says the industry's momentum is attracting attention well beyond Northern Ontario.
The world's all about hard assets, and the world is listening. They're listening to Ontario, Northern Ontario, and they're listening to Timmins.
Canadian Mining Expo organizers say this year's event was the largest in the show's history. They say the growing turnout reflects strong confidence in the mining sector.
You could feel it. You could just feel it. The buzz is there. It's happening. This is our time. This is our time for Timmins. This is our time for Northern Ontario.
Dreadhart estimates attendance was up by about 2,000 people compared to last year, with roughly 8,000 people attending the two-day event, including representatives from 13 countries. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Top mine rescue teams are in Sudbury for a provincial mine rescue competition. 8 teams from across Ontario are competing in scenarios that help them prepare for real-life, life-saving scenarios. CTV's Elena Everson has more.
20 minutes to return, over.
For this team, it's the end of a grueling extrication exercise, and then it's on to a rope rescue. The complicated scenarios are part of the provincial mine rescue competition.
These teams are invaluable when it comes to our mining organizations. They are the backbone to our industry when it comes to things going wrong. These are the people we trust, and these are the best that we have in the province.
Magna Mining is the host site at its Podolsky mine north of Campbell.
Today there's 3 different scenarios that are going on the property. There is a casualty underground type scenario. There's a rope type scenario and a firefighting scenario.
Organizers of the competition say members of mine rescue teams spent hours on intense training, so mines have adequate emergency response capability.
Less a thought process and more muscle memory. We see them make invaluably good decisions. We see them excel. We see them take leadership roles, and it's just that time in, time out investment that they put into the program that makes it so strong.
When it comes to emergency preparedness, I think being prepared involves going through different scenarios, understanding how you would attack certain scenarios, whether it's a fire, whether it's ropes, whether it's extrication, understanding different casualty types and injuries.
The winning team last year was Kidd Creek from Timmins, who went on to the international competition in Zambia, finishing 3rd place. Elena Everson, CTV News, Campbell.
Still ahead tonight on CTV News. A warning from health officials about that summer scourge we know all too well here in the north, the mosquito. A summer scourge is back, mosquitoes, but Public Health Sudbury and District says prevention is key, warning of the possible West Nile virus that mosquitoes can carry. CTV's Madison Merrier tells us more.
A slap can turn into an itch, but Public Health Sudbury and Districts is warning that it can also develop into more.
The mosquito that does spread West Nile virus is found here in Sudbury, Ontario, but the best ways to protect yourself from contracting West Nile virus is to prevent mosquito bites in the first place.
Chances of contracting the virus remain low. The last human contraction was in 2023 in the area, and in most cases, the virus symptoms are very mild. Still, in severe cases, the virus can develop into West Nile encephalitis.
The risk of West Nile is still very real, even after being 20 years in the country here. So making sure you use an approved insect repellent, avoid those peak times when mosquitoes are active, and making sure mosquitoes can't get in your house.
In Ontario, we got about 60 species of mosquitoes, and you probably noticed they're really rambunctious this year. And the reason for that is that we had a good snow melt and lots of rain. They tend to reproduce in these temporary bodies of water.
A mosquito's lifespan is quick, around 4 weeks, but so is their incubation. All they need is a small amount of standing water to lay their eggs.
If you dump those items and clear the water, at least on a weekly basis, you're reducing your chance of mosquitoes breeding in your backyard.
Some of them will lay eggs and they will only emerge the following year, the following spring. There's some species, it can take anywhere between 3 to 7 days, especially these summer species. They're very, very quick.
Doran says the mosquitoes that typically carry the virus start up later on in the year, but they could be out sooner as the eggs can survive Northern Ontario winters. Madison Marier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Quebec has become the first jurisdiction in Canada to regulate the sale of energy drinks. That province passed a new bill that prohibits the sale of energy drinks to anyone under the age of 16 and to anyone looking to buy them for children under 16. The vote was a resounding 103 to 1. An energy drink is defined as having a caffeine concentration of at least 150 milligrams per liter. The new rules for Quebec take effect in 6 months. Team Canada's head coach says Canada's opening World Cup match is an important test for the team.
We just want to put our best performances together, stay calm, show our quality, our character, show our togetherness. Like in the toughest moments, we want to be at our best. That's our goal. So we know already that Bosnia will be a very tough opponent, will be a physical opponent, a big opponent, and we're going to have to be up for that challenge, but we want to play our football. We want to play our way.
The Canadians will take to the pitch in Toronto Friday afternoon against Bosnia and Herzegovina for the first ever World Cup match on national soil. That game tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. You can watch it right here on CTV, TSN, and Crave. And just a quick programming note, as a result of this game, it'll be impacting our 5 p.m. newscast. But Marina Moore will be on with your 6 p.m. newscast following the match. Make sure you tune in for your nightly news for the North. As the World Cup kicks off, the province has added 2 more major ticket resale sites to its consumer watch list. SeatGeek and StubHub are now on the so-called consumer beware list. Back in March, the province said it would crack down on ticket resellers offering tickets for more than their original value. And last week, the financial penalty for repeat offenders rose to $25,000 with higher potential court-ordered fines. Both companies say the province has failed to provide enough clarity around how to comply with the new law. The Ministry of Public and Business Service Delivery says it's been working with the companies to help them do that. There is plenty of excitement for the World Cup inside of the halls of the Hospital for Sick Children. As health reporter Pauline tells us, a recent visit by a Toronto soccer star made a world of difference for one young patient.
Toronto FC's Richie Larea may be tough on the pitch, but with the kids, he's all fun and games. 6-year-old Elias has soccer in his bloodline, from his dad, a former pro, back to his grandmother. But a congenital heart condition known as TAP-VD meant the little boy has had numerous surgeries since birth.
So it's one of the pulmonaries that the blood flow doesn't go fully to the heart, so it doesn't pump well.
Last January, he had a double lung transplant, but a few months later, he was out on the pitch with Larea and a group of young sick kids' patients.
It was truly special just to see after transplant, because he did have restrictions, and just to see him just kind of being normal and being with kids and running and just being outdoors was really, really special and emotional for us parents.
Our patients really enjoyed meeting him at the hospital. He's always been just an amazing supporter, so it just felt like a natural fit to do something with him.
Larea has been a longtime supporter of sick kids, and the hospital has been working to bring World Cup festivities into the atmosphere there, like with viewing parties.
Sick Kids isn't just located in Toronto, but it's part of the city's fabric. And so when significant moments happen here, the connection between the hospital and the community is really easy to see.
Each child contributed to the design of a hero ball, a thank you gift for Larea. And Elias has more soccer to look forward to in the near future with free tickets to a Toronto FC game in the fall. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
I love that. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Thursday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Thanks for watching. Good night.